it might pop, but you want to be able to see the edges.
Mine's turning into colors.
See if you can
Just making a mess.
It's like before it pops, it's rotating. It's faster and pops.
Yeah, the molecules are moving.
Okay, so we've got those waves.
Look at it.
How does it feel?
How does it feel? It
So right before it pops.
I got my paper.
Okay, so class.
Yes.
I need everybody's attention.
You have our attention.
Okay, listen to this. I'm going to read a little of this science behind it. So I need you to stop screaming out at this point and listen, okay? It's probably hard to focus if you're blowing a bubble at the same time, so hold all bubbles for just a minute. Okay, and listen. Remember, the main thing about this is we're talking about interference. And interference is when two waves come together. Okay? What we're doing when we create a bubble is more than just having a lot of fun, but you're actually bonding with surface tension, all these waves, and those waves are coming together as interference. When we get interference from a thin film on a bubble, because those light waves bounce off the front and back surfaces of the bubble, and they're either constructive or destructive. Whether you get a destructive or constructive interference depends on the color, light, and thickness of the bubble. So you've noticed some of your bubbles are very colorful, some of them are not. Okay? And some of them have changed colors. It's because of the interference that's coming through on the bubble. You can actually, listen. You can actually see that based on what colors they are. Listen. The bubble's thickness is not uniform. That is why you see fringes or bands of different colors, dark part, light parts. Over time, the thickness of the bubble changes. And it changes, and that's why you get that swirling of colors. As the bubble gets older and older at the end of your straw, it gets thinner and thinner on top and thicker on the bottom because of that gravity. It's pulling everything down. So the top will get thin.
I see black.
So you might notice some change from the top to bottom. Like here, the top of his bubble is very light, and the bottom, when I see it, is lots of color. Yeah.
But I saw black in it too.
Mine was pretty.
Yeah, those black areas that's the fringe. The black, if you see those black areas, that's the fringe we're talking about. Okay, you can actually see that light wave.
Here we go, I'm about to do it again.
Okay. Scientists usually measure very thin objects, so you can actually measure this interference by even as thin as that bubble. If you were conducting a really serious science experiment here, we can actually measure these things. Yeah, and I see the bottom of yours. I can see the fringe. It's black around the
Green, yellowish.
Okay, Noah, you're supposed to be over here at your seat. So if you just throw your straw away, you're done.
Spit it on me.
Well, now you're done.
It's black.
Then it's pop.
You mean Olivia?
No.
What? Dang, I saw you trying to strike it out.
Okay, a couple of other things that you're gonna
Look. Oh, invincible bubble.
a couple of other things that you might want to do.
Stop.
Strike a boblet pose.
Stop popping your bubble every time.
Ooh.
Stop popping my bubble.
I'm about to do this at home. I'm spitting on my mouth.
Okay, so some of you have been blowing bubbles in the plate. See if you can blow a bubble in the plate and then try sticking your finger in it. What will happen? It'll pop. Now, try.
It works.
Yeah.
And let's talk about why. If you stick the straw in there, it works.
She said do it.
I'll explain why in just a minute. Test it out.
Tricky.
Okay, was your finger dry or wet?
Dry.
Okay.
My finger's wet and it works.
If your finger is wet, it works because you don't break the surface tension. So if you get your finger wet, you can put your finger inside of the bubble. If it's dry, it pops the surface tension. If it's wet, it will not break the